Hi, beautiful people. It is Monday. Thank you so much for coming back to watch a WEIGO podcast, aka What Else Is Going On podcast YouTube video. I'm your girl, Taria. And I'm just so thankful that you are back. The last video I posted was Friday, and I had a podcast episode with Aaron from House of Aaron, Haus. Y'all probably know who he is. House of Aaron. When I tell y'all we had such a good time, such good conversation before the podcast. After we stopped recording, we just really had a good time. One thing that I love about this space, whether it's somebody that has come on the podcast or somebody that I've talked to on social media or the community that we're building here and the conversations we have, I'm so grateful because I get to connect with people that I may have never came across or never met. Um, Especially the community here with y'all's comments, our DMs, our messages. I feel like there's a high chance that I may have never got to meet y'all, hear y'all beautiful stories, um, get the encouragement from y'all, hopefully encourage y'all. Like we may have never crossed each other's path, and you never know how you may cross paths in real life. You know, people have meetups, and you just discover things about people. So I'm just so grateful to um, the age of technology, right? And social media and YouTube and all those good things because you get to connect with people, like I said, who you may have never got a chance to come across. So I'm thankful for all of you. I'm thankful for every story. Y'all just don't know. When I did that video a couple of days ago talking about the word for the month, what was your word for the month of year? And y'all shared y'all's words, clarity, consistency, like all the words that y'all shared. Y'all encouraged me too, because I've read through all of them and I hear them in my head too. And I'm holding myself accountable to my word, but also incorporating y'all's words. So I'm just so grateful. Again, I go back to community, and I'm not even gonna lie. Sometimes I'll not feel like doing something I said I was gonna do on here, and then I'll think, I hope y'all don't hear them cutting the grass outside. I'm sorry if you do. It's like I'm recording in my living room window, like right here. But I'll think to myself sometimes, I know I have to do this for me, but also I told them I was going to do it, and I'm going to be accountable to myself so I can tell them, y'all, I did it. Y'all can do it too. We can do this together. Like the exercise thing, Lord, y'all. I had a long day yesterday of working, and it was okay. I didn't get done till around 7:30 p.m. because I did a bunch of different things, different gigs. And it was almost 8, and I knew everybody was home waiting for me, the hubby, the kids, what have you. Even if the kids were doing their own thing, they still want mommy to be home, even though they're 22 and 19. My oldest is 28, but she doesn't live here. But the other two are here for the summer. So my husband, of course, likes me uh, being home with him, and I like being home with him. But before I came home, I said, you told yourself that no matter what you had going on, you may not can commit to 2 or 3 miles 5 days a week, but you can surely commit to one. So I texted the family group chat and said, hey, stop. Oh my gosh, they're getting so loud. I hope y'all can't hear them. This is why I probably should be wearing headphones, but because of aesthetic wise, I don't like wearing them. But anyway, I may have to cut them on because I don't want y'all to hear just how loud they are, and it could be distracting. But anyway, I went by the track, did my mile, and I felt better. After I was done, I did it, and I was like, I'm accountable to myself. So I'm so glad. Y'all, I'm getting ready to put these headphones on because I'm about to get annoyed. Wait, I think they went away. I went down the street, on to the next neighbor's house. But anyway, so I say all that to say I'm grateful for y'all. I missed y'all. I had every intent on coming down here as soon as we heard some of this crazy news that's been going on in Atlanta, which we'll get to, and some other things. I had an email actually. I'll pull up an email like when I'm out and about driving or what have you, or if I take a few minutes to stop. I'll go through social media, different pages, whatever, see what's going on, and compile a email draft of everything I want to talk about and the links to it, what have you, and then come and record. But Saturday was kind of a long day too. I worked, so I didn't get to, but we're here now. So of course, some of these things have been discussed ad nauseum, but I wanted to get my thoughts, and I wanted to hear y'all's thoughts over here. So first up, before we get into some housewife stuff, let's talk about Mr. Kendrick Lamar. So this is according to the Jasmine brand. Kendrick Lamar's All Right cost middle school $100K after parent sues because a teacher played the song in son's class. A middle school in Vernon, Connecticut will be paying out a hefty settlement soon. Reports state that the institution recently approved a $100,000 lawsuit settlement stemming from a teacher playing Kendrick Lamar's All Right in the classroom. The plaintiff is reportedly a local law enforcement officer who filed the suit against Vernon Center Middle School in 2020. He wrote in the complaint that his son's eighth grade social studies classroom was exposed to the documentary Hip Hop Songs That Shook America by his teacher, causing his child a substantial amount of trauma. Specifically, he argued that the music video for Kendrick Lamar's 2015 anti-police brutality anthem, All Right, which was part of the film, depicted officers as murderers and contained other shockingly violent scenes and controversial statements about police officers. The plaintiff claimed the teacher was well aware of his job in law enforcement and further argued that the incident has caused his son emotional and psychological distress as a result of his diagnosed learning disorder and individualized education plan. He wrote that the damages to his child included post-traumatic stress disorder, anxiety, depression, shock, confusion, sadness, feeling unsafe, and social withdrawal, some or all of which necessitate psychological treatment and counseling, and if unresolved, pose the risk of severe mental illness, along with physical manifestations that include nausea, headaches, and malaise. The student is, I'm sorry, malice, I may be saying that wrong. The student is also alleged to have been stigmatized for being the child of a police officer, which caused friends and others to disassociate with him, according to the lawsuit. He added some or all of the aforementioned injuries necessitated the student change schools, as a result of which he has suffered loss and damages. On Tuesday, June 4th, council members unanimously voted to approve the suit and will reportedly finalize the settlement next week. So I guess that would be this week probably. Reports note that the city's superintendent, Joseph McCary, stated about the matter. We always do what's in the best interest of students, and each student is different. So each decision is different, but it's always what's best for the kids. Despite the controversy in this case, Kendrick Lamar's All Right has been acclaimed as a culture-shifting record. If you recall, it was used as a unifying anthem during the height of Black Lives Matter protests and received 4 nominations at the 58th Grammy Awards: Song of the Year, Best Music Video, Best Rap Performance, and Best Rap Song, winning the latter 2, which was Best Rap Performance and Best Rap Song. I know that some may say, I know that was the first thing you were going to say, or you shouldn't think that. But my first thought was, I was wondering if the family was white. Connecticut, I mean, we know there's Black folks in Connecticut. I'm just wondering. I feel like I have so much to say about this, but maybe shouldn't say, because the reality is I don't know. Student, right? Who is now probably graduated from high school this year. That was 4 years ago, and they were in 8th grade. So I don't know. I wasn't there to witness what the student went through, what the parents went through, if all of this is true or not. It feels like a part of me feels like when he said the teacher knew that he was in law enforcement. So was the teacher not supposed to play the song because the child's father was in law enforcement? Like you knew I was in law enforcement, and you still played this record for this class. I don't know. I'll say this: if the student did go through all those things, the depression, anxiety, I mean, and they did have to change schools. And if friends withdrew, I understand as a parent how you would feel and how you feel for your child. And my heart goes out to the student. I mean, 8th grade is a critical time, so I definitely understand that. I don't know. Y'all let me know what y'all think. There's so many thoughts swirling around in my head. A part of me is like, man, like they said, this song really had an impact on the culture and brought awareness for a lot of people that weren't aware, right? And that were willing to listen. At the same time, I guess you have to do what you think is best for your child if your child is suffering through these things. Y'all let me know what y'all think about all of this. But my heart goes out to the student if they experienced all of this. I mean, and to the parent if they had to witness their child go through this. At the same time, I just feel like, are we coddling our kids and not explaining the harsh realities of, yes, I'm in law enforcement. I'm not that cop, but there are cops like this. And this is why we need to strive to do better as a community. I don't know. Y'all let me know what y'all think. Moving on, Kim Porter's father condemns Sean Diddy Combs' vicious assault on Cassie. I didn't know he could stoop that low. Kim Porter's father, now I'm reading from Radar Online. Kim Porter's father, Jake Porter, has come forward to condemn the actions of Sean Diddy Combs after security footage from 2016 surfaced showing the rapper abusing his then girlfriend, Cassandra Cassie Ventura. In an interview with Rolling Stone, Jake, the father of the late model, voiced his shock at the footage. He told the outlet, "You can say I was disgusted with the video, and I wouldn't treat my enemy like that. It was despicable. I couldn't believe it. I was in Vietnam, and I wouldn't have done that to my enemy." Jake also mentioned that although he never witnessed the music mogul physically harming his late daughter, the video made him question things. Kim was in an on and off relationship with Diddy from 1994 until 2007, and they shared 3 children together. Expressing his newfound perspective on Diddy, Jake told the outlet, "I didn't know he could stoop that low. I imagine it surprised a lot of people. I wouldn't even do a dog like that. My heart goes out to Cassie." Additionally, Jake shared insights into Kim's relationship with the rapper, indicating that she loved him but struggled to cohabit. Oh, I'm sorry. Additionally, Jake shared insights into Kim's relationship with the rapper, indicating that she loved him but struggled to cohabit with him. Is that supposed to be cohabitate? I don't know. I think he was a very jealous person, Jake explained. They both loved each other. Kim's love was legitimate. Puffy's love, I don't know what he calls love. You know what I mean? I really don't think he has any idea what love is. Uh I wonder, I know we all know there's been talk about Kim and her mysterious death. Yeah, they say it was what they say it was pneumonia, but we all know. I know I have my thoughts around it, as I'm sure you guys have, as I'm sure y'all have your thoughts around it too. I just wonder, I don't know if this man is in pop culture or listening to the pop culture news. I mean, he's interviewing with Rolling Stone, so. But I say all that to say, did the thought ever cross his mind? Did he do something to his child that could have possibly allegedly caused her to leave this earth? And did he really have no idea? Did he really hide it that well from him? I mean, he did say they were off and on. Who knows, I guess, how often he was around him. I don't know. But him saying that he really had no idea. But him seeing the video now makes him think back. I just wonder, because there's been rumors for years, like I said, about Diddy. And was he just not aware of the pop culture news? Did he not hear the rumors? Did he choose to ignore the rumors? Was Kim, maybe he asked her and she said everything was okay? We don't know that stuff, and we'll probably never know. But I'm just wondering, is this truly him watching that video the first time he ever had thoughts about Diddy or any questions about Diddy? Did Diddy manage to hide that side of himself from certain people for that long? And I guess he's the grandfather, and they were broken up, but they broke up for good in 2007. So maybe he only saw what Diddy did for the kids. And like I said, maybe he didn't hear the rumblings of other things. I just wonder, did he ever ask him, like, hey, what's going on in your relationship, or is everything all good? Just different thoughts. I just wonder. But shout out to Diddy's father. I know that Kim is still missed clearly by the fans of hers and family and friends. So shout out to Kim's dad. What's his name? Jake Porter. Up next, let's talk about Meg the Stallion. Meg the Stallion chokes back tears on stage in Tampa after AI sex tape circulates online. This is according to Page 6. Megan the Stallion choked back tears on stage in Tampa, Florida, during her Hot Girl Summer tour. A fan video captured the Hiss rapper, looking overcome with emotion in the middle of her concert at Amalie Arena on Saturday night. The Houston native 29 can be seen putting her head down and taking a deep breath to gather herself before launching into her hit Cobra. But even when the song begins, Megan struggles to perform the lyrics as she fans her face with her hand and covers her eyes to stop herself from crying. I'm going to show y'all this real quick. I'm just going to show y'all this picture in case you haven't seen it. So this is right here. So this is somebody posted, "We love you, Queen." And this is her trying to hold back her tears while she was on stage in Tampa. The article goes on to say, it's unclear what prompted the Grammy winner to break down into tears, but the vulnerable moment follows rumors that an AI-generated sex tape allegedly depicting her likeness has been circulating online. The Savage rapper seemingly blasted the fake A video on X earlier that day. Meg said, "It's really sick how y'all go out of the way to hurt me when you see me winning. Y'all going too far. Fake AS." She posted, "Just know today was your last day playing with me, and I mean it." While Megan has yet to address the onstage hiccup, she did thank her Tampa fans for their love and support after Saturday's show. Tampa hotties with the three eyes full of water emoji and the three hands like this. "Thank you. I love you all. The energy was everything. Love you, hotties," she captioned a video montage on Instagram Sunday. Reports of the AI-generated sex tape come a little over a month after Megan's legal team slammed salacious accusations made by her former videographer, Emilio Garcia. It's sick and a little bit scary what AI can do. I was talking to Corey the other day, and I said, legit, somebody could say to me, "Yeah, your man called me and left me this message," or could say to him, "Your man, your wife was trying to get with me, left me these messages," or what have you, and play a recording that sounds like you. And now it's your word against your actual voice, right? You could be like, "Nah, I never even," because it's not like a timestamp saying, like a picture with a timestamp, and it's like, "Nah, that's not me. That's AI. I could prove that I was here." Now it's like your voice for real. Like we've heard these rappers putting in other rappers using AI, like their voices. Like it's the door that's being opened with all of this is insane. And remember the man from Google, what was his name? He was part of the whole AI, and he stepped down and basically was like, "I wish I had never opened this door." Let's see his name. Let me see. AI leader steps down. I don't even know what I just typed. Godfather of AI, Jeffrey Hinton. This was a while ago. I think it was last year. Yeah, it was last year. Godfather of AI, Jeffrey Hinton quits Google and warns over dangers of misinformation. The neutral network pioneer says danger of chatbots were quite scary and warns they could be exploited by bad actors. And then he said he quit Google to speak freely about the dangers of AI and in part regrets his contribution to the field. He was brought on by Google a decade ago to help develop the company's AI technology, and the approach he pioneered led the way for current systems such as ChatGPT. He told the New York Times that until last year, he believed Google had been a proper steward of the technology, but that changed once Microsoft started incorporating a chat box into its Bing search engine, and the company began becoming concerned about the risks the risk to its search business. He is not alone in the upper echelons of AI research in fearing that the technology could pose serious harm to humanity. Oh boy. So yeah, just and here Meg. So I guess there was an AI generated sex tape, like using Meg's likeness. That's crazy too, though. Another thing. Oh yeah, your man. I was with your man. No, you wasn't. Blah blah blah. Here's the sex tape, and it's looking like your man or your woman, or however you identify. It's that person in the video, even though it's not that person. I just think we are in a time where technology can be so great. I started the video talking about how great technology was and how it's allowed me to be in spaces and meet all of you and develop community with all of you. And then at the same time, on the opposite side of it, look at what Meg is going through. It just, and even though it's not you, it's still something about it. I mean, if I see a if I were to see an AI generated sex tape of myself with someone, even though I know it's not me, it still would feel kind of violating a little bit, like, man, and why? So I don't know. Shout out to Meg though. She is killing it with her tours and everything. Meg, just keep going. Go Meg, go Meg. Like, just keep going, girl. Keep going. But I can understand how some days it's like, man, this is just too much. So speaking of sex tapes and leaking and things and all the things, let's get into Atlanta. Okay, so I'm gonna give y'all the brief rundown because I'm not gonna get into it step by step because we've heard it all. But basically, we were all minding our business. Bam, news breaks. Kenya Moore allegedly shows photos of her new castmate, Brit Eady, taking it to the dome, right? Just taking somebody down. And so that news circulated, right? Then we get a tweet from the photographer that was there that says, one moment, celebrity photographer Eric Robertson, who tweeted, and I believe he deleted a message. He was at the event. I'm still trying to recover myself. I couldn't even take a photo. My mouth fell to the floor and I'm just in awe. Like, that was the deadliest scene probably ever filmed in the franchise. Drew Sidora tweets, it was a picture of Patrick, and she says, I'm flabbergasted and floored, right? Side note, has anybody noticed that Drew is starting to look like Portia a little bit in some of her pictures and like this video that she posted? Just thought about it. But anyway, so then, right, everybody's in an uproar. Oh my gosh. So supposedly during Kenya's third or fourth grand opening, because I think Kenya, well, she had a soft opening and then she did a grand opening. And then I think this is, I guess, maybe the grand opening. So basically she was having a grand opening and she allegedly, like I said, showed these pictures of Brit Eady performing fellatio on someone. News is spreading. They say that people stormed out. People left in droves. Brit left in droves. People were saying Brit wasn't there. People were saying Brit was there and she showed up late. Now, I watched Michelle Atielian, straight from the A. I watched her YouTube video. So she was invited to the event. This is what she said in her YouTube. She was invited to the event. She said she talked about it when it was announced that it was happening. And she was like, I'm not going. So y'all so whoever goes, let me know how it is. Then she decided to go. She got invited and she was like, I'm not going. Then she decided to go. So she RSVP'd. She said within an hour of her RSVPing, someone, and she didn't say who, called her, basically like a promoter, and was like, hey, I saw that you are RSVP'd. I'm just going to be straight up with you. They're going to try to, and she used the word ban, like try to ban you from the event. And Michelle was like on camera. And she was like, yeah, like basically they're going to try to embarrass you on camera because, she may have some contentious relationships with some of the ladies. She is a blogger, and she talks about things that happen on the show. She gets information, blah, 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 all that stuff. So again, Michelle ATLian, straight from the A. So she said, and this is all on her video, she said that they were basically like, yeah, they're going to try to embarrass you. Kenya's going to try to embarrass you. So she was like, oh, thank you for the heads up. And the person was like, I just don't want to see that happen to another Black woman. So she was like, okay. So she didn't go to the event. Well, what she did was she drove up there and parked in an apartment complex across the street and had a clear view of everybody going into the event. So she was filming everybody going in. We saw Cynthia. Cynthia came up and talked to her. They had a conversation. Now, some of this is on Michelle's, like for everybody, for the public to view, and then some of it is on her Patreon. I didn't go over to the Patreon because she gets into more detail on the Patreon, but on the public, which is what I'm speaking of. We see Cynthia having a conversation with her and all of that. Then she has on her Patreon, Brit and Kelly, which is also another cast member, going into the event. Then on the main, you see all of a sudden, all of these people just like walking down the street. So they were coming from Kenya's event. It was like a lot of people at once. And you see Brit and Kelly with those people. Again, that's on her main one. And you have to look really quickly because you see Brit and Kelly go by really fast. And then the cameraman is right there. So she was at the event. Now, and based on the footage that I saw with my own eyes, clearly she was inside at some point, or maybe just standing at the door. I don't know, because Michelle said Brit was not invited. Kenya did not invite her, but she still came. That's what Michelle said. So I'm going to say allegedly, Kenya didn't invite her. Like I said, then you see Brit and Kelly outside talking. On her Patreon, which other people who watched her Patreon were commenting on the main video and was like, oh, I can't believe they came out and confirmed it to you right away. So she says she had people walking up to her car saying, man, you won't believe what just happened in there. Kenya just showed videos of Brittany sucking. I mean, not video. Kenya just showed pictures of Brittany sucking, and people were disgusted and left. Portia left with Shamia. Kelly and Brit left together. And like I said, on the video, on the main page, you can literally see people. Like, it wasn't just random. It was either they all let out at the same time, or these people were so disgusted they all walked, because Kenya allegedly did this. But you see them walking out. And then she said, yeah, that people were literally confirming it right then to her that it happened, because someone tweeted, I don't think it's on here, but basically saying that it wasn't true. It didn't happen, blah, 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 blah. But yet there were people confirming to her that it did. And so Brit definitely was there. So then we know that Brit posts something. I can't even see this. Basically, we know that, Lord, I can't, y'all. Let me see if I got it on my phone, because listen, can't even see it. It's never a good feeling being targeted or hazed, in caps, by someone I thought would embrace me into a new circle that I never met. Did you know that you were coming on Housewives? I'm just saying that, not excusing anything, but embrace, girl, no. For the record, I've never once had a possession of any weapons or threatened anyone ever. I've never even been to jail and fight, or ever had as much as a speeding ticket. God bless, because they be tearing my up out here with those speed cams. This is not in my character. I'm hurt by the narrative that's being displayed. Wrong is wrong. So people, when the story came out, initially it was said that Kenya showed these pictures and Brit was like, I got a pow pow for bees like her. Now they're saying that Brit said that. They were basically arguing. Brit said that and was like, you don't know me. And Kenya was like, you're right, I don't know you, and was going to do her research on her. And boom, that's when these pictures happen. So those are the two different stories that I have heard, right? Kenya then came out and said, and pay attention to the wording, I would never engage in revenge porn. I have never distributed private images or footage of anyone, nor solicited images owned by others to use to threaten or blackmail. I've always been vindicated. I can't talk about story, even with people planning fake news. Hashtag sweet 16 with the fire emoji. So for me, as soon as I read that statement, I said, oh, okay, so this is lawyer speak. She's very strategic. She said, I would never engage in revenge P. So when you type in the meaning, because I like to know the meanings, specific meaning of things, a type of digital abuse in which nude or sexually explicit photos or videos are shared without the consent of those pictured, also called a non-consensual P. It's closely related to sexual abuse. Merriam-Webster, that was WebMD, but Merriam-Webster says sexually explicit images of a person posted online without that person's consent, especially as a form of revenge or harassment. So I was trying to get, because there's also more in-depth meanings, like it's the uninvited release of sexually explicit photos or recordings of someone that were private. So basically, these were private, and without the consent of the other person, one party has now made them public with the intent to harass, them. So when Kenyon says, I would never engage in revenge P, I have never distributed private images or footage of anyone, nor solicited images owned by others. If you pay attention, she's saying, I have never distributed private images. So she's never shared with others. I guess she's trying to, like, because to me, that's kind of like wordplay. Like in the instance of Vanderpump Rules and Sandoval, when how Ariana found out Sandoval was cheating was because his phone had fell out of his pocket when he was performing on stage. Somebody gave her the phone to hold, and something told her to look in it. She looked in it, and she sees Tom and Raquel FaceTiming each other, and Rachel was pleasuring herself. Tom had recorded it without her consent, right? Ariana looked at it and then sent the video to herself. That could be considered distributing footage. And Rachel then sued Tom and Ariana, claiming Ariana sent it to friends. That's distributing. So Kenya is saying, I would never engage in revenge P, meaning I would never take someone's private images, nudes, and distribute them to anyone, or these images that are owned by someone to threaten or blackmail. Basically, you got images. So if she indeed had pictures of Britney off of Brit's OnlyFans, and this is what I gather, because I looked at a whole bunch of different websites of different lawyers talking, right? So lawyers, all of them don't agree about what revenge porn is, and specifically, if you share someone's OnlyFans, can that be considered revenge P? I keep saying porn, then P, but but a lot of the things I was seeing was stating that OnlyFans is a public platform, so there's no reasonable expectation of privacy with those images. So the lawyers that I saw saying that were saying that technically or legally, you sharing someone's OnlyFans picture is not considered revenge P, because it wasn't a private photo and it's not a private platform. Even though you have to have a paid subscription, it's still not. So I don't know. So I feel like Kenya got legal advice on how to word it, and worded it public. She didn't say, y'all, I did not show no pictures of Britney with a penis in her mouth. I don't know where that came from. She didn't say that. What she said is, I've never engaged in revenge P. I have never distributed private images or footage of anyone, nor solicited images owned by others to use to threaten or blackmail. So she's saying, I didn't get her private images that weren't public and post them as blackmail or to threaten her. She could have just got them off her OnlyFans and was like, boom, I'm just showing y'all. I'm not blackmailing you and I'm not threatening you. I'm just showing these pictures. You see what I'm saying? So to me, the wording was very critical here in her denial. Because again, she never said, I wouldn't do that to another woman. I wouldn't do that to her. As much as I don't like her, I don't even know her. She didn't say that. She gave a very technical response to all of this, which led me to think, she may have done it. I'm going to be honest. I have said from day one, anybody who's listened to my podcast, the audio version, which you can find every Tuesday and Friday episodes are dropped. I think y'all are going to like this week's episode. It won't be dropped tomorrow because I'm recording with the person tomorrow, but it will be dropped on Wednesday. It'll be a day late, but we're not $1 short, honey. So, but I've been saying you can't dictate someone's response to you, right? You can't dictate someone's response. Candace from Potomac, people will be like, she goes too low. And I would always say, you can't dictate someone's response when you came for them. So you can't get mad when you throw a pebble at somebody and they come back and throw a boulder at you. I have taught my kids that. And I would teach my kids, if you start with somebody or go after somebody, you need to be prepared for how they may come back at you. It may not be in the same manner. And yeah, it may be over the top, but you don't get to dictate that when you come for people. So I know people are saying, well, what did Brit do to make Kenya respond that way? So I say all that to say, even if I think the response is low, this response, you still can't dictate how someone responds. I thought that this was low, but I'm gonna be honest, y'all. I never thought it was beneath Kenya to do. I'm just being honest. It's not something that I would think was beneath her to do, especially if she feels justified in doing it. If somebody came at her, attacked her, did something to her, that's just how I felt. I can be honest and say, I don't hate Kenya. I was never partial to her. Over the last few seasons, I've grown like, oh, okay. There were definitely times when she was 1000% right. I can admit that, even when I didn't care for her that much, right? And I can agree that she has been painted as the villain. Sometimes she is, and sometimes she's been put there. I can definitely see that. But I never thought it was beneath her to do. And I'm just being honest. I hoped that she didn't do it, though. And, you know, when this first came out, I was like, I think Kenya is smarter than that, because my immediate thought was revenge porn. But then when you really look into it, it's like, she isn't stupid. So maybe it was, maybe she thought all of this. And like I said, she didn't deny doing it. She just said she's never participated in Revenge P. Totally different. So we get that information, right? Brit deletes hers, yada, yada, yada. Kenya says she would never engage in Revenge P. Then, boom, we have an audio leakage and a picture. So I think it was Mad Beefs posted a picture of poster boards, and there was two, and one of them, well, it looked like there was two. The first one was like insurance fraud hoe, and basically like that just vindicates Kenya. Well, about not showing these pictures. Well, no, there was a poster board behind that. We didn't see that, so it doesn't vindicate Kenya. Just lets us know she also called her an insurance hoe. Right. Also, Michelle did say that before that picture was released and before any of that came out, Michelle in her video said the people that confirmed to her what happened also said Kenya was calling her a hoe, was talking about her insurance fraud, like all of that. So everything that, so I know Media Takeout ran with it, but Michelle Atielian, I believe, was the first one to come out and say this stuff, because it had been allegedly confirmed to her. So we see the poster board. We see the one poster board with insurance fraud hoe, and then we see a poster board behind it, what looks like there's pictures on it, but we can't confirm, right? Whew. RHOA star Kenya Moore allegedly calls newbie Brit Eady an escort and leaked audio. She charges $1,400. This is according to Page 6. Real Housewives of Atlanta star Kenya Moore allegedly called newbie Brit Eady an escort and claims she charges $1,400 for services and leaked audio. You a paid hoe. Brittany does escort, Moore allegedly said in an audio that surfaced online. There's an IG that puts her emails out on blast. She charges $1,400 for an appointment. You not only a hoe, you a cheap whore. The former USA winner allegedly added, you on covers of magazines being a thought. You all of those things, okay? You over here on Snapchat. Yo Gotti was like, Snapchat me that coochie, and you did. Page 6 has reached out to both Moore and Eady for comments, but did not immediately hear back. Audio of Moore's alleged remarks surfaced after Page 6 reported that she alleged shocked party attendees Thursday night at her Kenya Moore hair spa with posters of the RHOA newcomer allegedly performing oral sex. In the audio, you can hear what sounds to me like Portia, but I don't know if it is. I believe they say twice, that's a penis. That's a penis. So they were looking at something that made them say, that's a penis. You hear it very clearly in the audio. And for me, I was like, I won't say it indicts Kenya, but it does lean me more on the side of Miss Moore showed something that looked like a penis. Like maybe she put an eggplant over Brittany's lips. Like maybe she was like this, and then there was eggplant in place of, I don't know. But the person saying that's a penis, yeah, I don't know. So we'll have to see if this plays on the show. I'm gonna tell y'all right now, I am leaning more towards the side that this did happen. Something happened, and some pictures were shown, and the audio just kind of furthers that for me. It does suck if this happened though, because like, wow, Kenya. And even if you think it's too low, I do want to know what Brittany may have said to elicit this response from Kenya. Now, people are saying, why would Kenya do that at her event? And I would wager to say it's because she wanted to make sure that her event got shown. Because remember last year, she said she was on Carlos King's podcast and said she had a soft opening, and Bravo didn't show that. So, and that was like August of last year, because I remember I was taking my daughter to school, and my mom and my oldest daughter and a friend of our family, who's like a cousin, came with us, and I was playing the interview for them so they could hear it. So she said that they didn't show it. So I'm wondering if she was like, I'm gonna get promo for my shop and also create some drama and keep my job. Because I'm gonna be honest with you, I do feel like with this new cast of people, just looking at it, just strictly looking, I feel like they're trying to phase Kenya out. I really do. That's just my opinion. I felt like this could be her last season. I really, really do. Even though her and Portia aren't far off from the same age, I do feel like there's a difference. Some may call it a maturity, some may call it a lightness, some may call it. There's a difference between Portia, Shamia, and these other ladies, and Kenya and Cynthia. I definitely believe that. So, and I do believe that they were trying to phase Kenya out. And so maybe she thought, this is a Hail Mary, or at least my salon is going to be shown. I don't know. So y'all, we shall see. What do y'all think? Do y'all think Kenya did it? Do y'all think Kenya haters are automatically going to think she did it? And Kenya supporters automatically don't think she did it? Like, what do y'all think? Do y'all think that was too low? Do y'all think if she did it so that her event can be shown and she is coming to work, work. So ciao, we shall see. And then the last thing I wanted to show y'all, let's share a screen. I'm not even going to share the sound. I'm sure y'all have seen this. So that is Karen, Wendy, Gizelle at Wendy's birthday party. That's Kiana looking fly at the party. And then bear with me as I scroll up because I didn't save it separately. Then we see this. Let's go back. That's Wendy. And that's Gizelle. See it one more time. Here's what I'm going to say. And I know people will be like, oh, y'all not happy. Y'all not happy because they're friends. Y'all not happy because whatever. What's going on with my computer? Okay. Y'all not happy if they're friends, if they're not friends. I thought y'all wanted the cast to get along. This is what I was saying last season at the end. To me, and this is my personal opinion, in the words of Jamie, that's me. These are my opinions, not yours. This is what I think. And I started saying this last season. If all of a sudden they come back this season and Gizelle was getting along, this before we knew that Candace and Rob were leaving, and Gizelle is now friendly or getting along with Candace and Wendy, it was going to be fake, and we would know that it was because they basically were threatened or they had to. Because there's no way you going from not just arguing with someone, but icing someone and trying to get the cast to ice someone for 2 years, and then all of a sudden we back. It rings totally false to me. And that was the issue I thought with, and I don't advocate for anybody losing their job because I don't want to lose my job or anybody to advocate for me, right? However, this is why I would say part of me would have rather seen Robin without Gizelle, because we did see, even if Robin was arguing, she still did interact with these people. Gizelle would clam up, not say nothing, wouldn't say Candace's name. And even Karen called her out on it, right? Because she was trying to ice Candace and to an extent Wendy out. To go from that just months prior, because it ain't been that long, they started filming to now, you surprise, because someone posted that Gizelle surprises Wendy. So I don't know, at her party. It reads so phony to me, and it reads like we've gotten talked to. I'm getting talked to. I need to keep my job if I want to keep, because the audience reaction was so like, what? Yes, there were people that were like, we don't care if Gizelle doesn't talk to them. Wendy and Candace are annoying, blah, 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 you know, all that stuff. But we also watched and saw how the show was just like, whatever. So I don't believe that it to be authentic in any way. And so for me watching that, it doesn't get me excited about the season. It's like, we all predicted this. I tweeted and said, I'm paraphrasing my own tweet, but after the seating chart came out, I was like, let's see what next season looks like in terms of her moving on with people and letting go. And boom, here we have it. So it just rings false to me. I'm definitely probably still going to peek in and see or watch, and then if I get tired of it, I just won't. And that's that. Yo, I did not intend for this video to be this long. I really wanted to do a live, but I'm still nervous. First of all, I got to figure out how. And I'm still nervous to go live, but I'm going to do it. But anyway, I thank y'all so much for watching this video. I missed y'all. I was debating on whether I was going to take today off because I did work. I have a long weekend of work, or go back out, but I think I'll probably go out later this afternoon. But I was going to tell you I'm going to be back with a Jersey review, but I'm going to recap Jersey with my guest tomorrow, which again will be out Thursday. If y'all are not subscribed to the audio version, go to wherever you listen to your podcast, type in what else is going on. You'll see me, and hit that follow button and binge the old episodes, y'all. They're really good. All right, y'all. I love y'all so much, and I will talk to y'all later. See ya.